Hello guys and welcome back to the Traitors Australia Season 1 Episode 3, and things are starting to get really tense. Chloe dropped a bomb on everyone in the last episode. She accused the four traitors of being Teresa, Cash, Marielle and Angus, and surprisingly she managed to get half of them correct, despite being a clairvoyant and apparently being able to see the future or being able to like contact the spirit world. She only got 2 out of 4 right, but we'll talk more on that later. But it has caused ripples in the fragile ocean that is the Traitors, and honestly, whether this was a production plant or whether it was genuinely just her being kooky, this has definitely had a profound impact on the game, and I'm really excited to see how it develops from here. So, without much further ado, let's get into the video, shall we? So guys, if you are enjoying the videos, make sure to keep liking, commenting, and subscribing. I am currently away for the weekend. Ooh, nice. And I might not be able to respond to your messages as frequently as I usually would, so make sure you're keeping on commenting. I will deal with the backlog when I get back, and I hope you guys are still enjoying. Make sure to subscribe. Come on guys, we're almost on our way to 700. We're about to reach 750. I think we're about 7 subs away from my calculations when I'm recording this, so keep on going. Come on, we can get to 750, we can get to 650, and then we can get to 700, and then we can work our way up to 1,000. Come on guys, we can do it. You guys are doing a fabulous job already. Those of you who are already part of the Ranters, thank you very much. And if you're not part of the Ranters, what are you doing? I know you've all got YouTube accounts. Might as well subscribe. It literally doesn't cost you anything. At least not yet. No, I'm joking, I'm joking. So, we are going to start with breakfast and the fallout from Chloe's big is definitely being felt. Midi walked into the room, and in his little confessionals, he basically was like, I think it's Angus and Marielle. I don't think it's the other two, but I think it's those two. And I was like, wow, Midi has smashed it. Like, scarily so. And it's getting a little bit worrying now. Maybe they should have taken him out first day instead of taking out, who's the first one? Was it Maisie? Millie? Something like that. Yeah. He's doing a really, really good job, and it's really worrying, I can't lie. And when he was explaining his motives, and he was like, Angus is still alive, and we know traitors can't kill traitors, so maybe that means he's a traitor. And I was like, wait, what? But like, the traitors could have just chosen to kill someone else, right? But what I think he was trying to say, and it didn't quite match up with what was happening on screen at the time, but he was basically saying if all of the people that Chloe accused to be traitors turned up the next day, then there's a very, very good likelihood that she was correct and they are all the traitors. I think the best decision that the four could have made last night was to kill off one of the people that Chloe had named, in order to be like, oh, well, clearly there's no sort of weight to her theory, and they wouldn't have had to put up with what happened today. Yeah, I feel like that would have been a very, very good and interesting move, but here we are. So we had the sad news that Ethan and Chloe had both been taken out of the game. Chloe decided to leave of her own volition, which kind of does back up the idea that she was like sort of like a production plant stirring the pot a little bit. Which, like, if that is true, that might have ruined this series and really made it go down in my estimations. I don't know whether it is true or not, but like, if it is, it's a bit disappointing, I won't lie. Like, I don't know. It just feels really sneaky to like have someone come in and be like, oh, I think it's these people, and 2 of them were correct. So yeah, it's a bit weird. But anyway, Ethan was the one that got killed, and I think Fee is definitely feeling it and definitely upset about it. So, yeah, maybe they did make the right choice there. But Ethan will be missed. Obviously, same name as me, so big up. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say about breakfast. Let's move on to a rather interesting car journey. So, the car ride from hell put Marielle through her paces. Oh my goodness. Marielle was quizzed by Mark. Why do you seem like you were really, really nervous after Chloe said your name? And she was like, because now it's put a massive target on my back, and I felt like that was really unfortunate, and I didn't I didn't really know what to do or think in that situation, because I was like, rah, people are going to be suspicious of me when they've got no reason to. And then they were talking about, oh, why did they get rid of Ethan? And she was like, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming it has to be like a unanimous vote, so that means like 4 people got rid of Ethan. And then everyone in the car went, how do you know it's 4? And then she was just like, ah. Oh, I think this is like, right, there was a way that she could have explained this. There was a really, really good way that she could have explained this. And she could have said, well, I'm just assuming because Chloe said 4 names, so it makes sense for there to be 4 traitors if we're going by her logic. I think that would have been a really easy way out. But I can't believe she made that mistake. I actually can't believe it. I was in shock. I was in pure abject horror at just what? What? Huh? What happened? What is going on? What did happen in this here place? I'm so confused. Yeah, honestly, big fat L. Big fat L. Honestly, what a tough is what that is. Really, really, really tough. I won't lie. Really tough. But anyway, moving on. Mark really wants to go for Angus, and oh my god, I just got attacked in both eyes by things. Ah. So anyway, moving on. Sorry about that. My eyes just absolutely started killing. I wonder whether Marielle will start to backstab Angus. I think that would be a very, very interesting way to go. But until then, on to the mission. The mission was fairly straightforward. It was just a paintball assault course, I guess, but they just had to run from one end of the field to the other end of the field, diving behind barricades to stop them getting hit by paintballs. It was fairly simplistic. It wasn't really that sort of exciting, but it did mildly hold my entertainment whilst I was filling in a crossword. Do you know what I mean? Like, every now and then I'd look up and be like, oh, yeah, that's fun. Go back to my crossword. So I've literally got like 2 lines. I just put paintball assault course. This is a great challenge. And then they won, I think, £22,000 because 11 of them made it across without getting hit by a paintball. So honestly, I feel like this was an interesting challenge. I do like the fact that they have different challenges to the UK and the US version. It is a little bit of a breath of fresh air. It does make it a little bit more exciting to watch. But on the whole, still a very entertaining premise, I guess. Yeah. So we come on to some suspicions, and this was quite a messy section of the episode because everyone's just trying to accuse everyone, and it's just getting a little bit like chaotic and weird. So they've been affectionately named or nicknamed the famous 4. That's Angus, Marielle, Teresa, and Cash. They're the 4 people named by Chloe, and honestly, absolutely hilarious because Cash is just like, I'm not fighting the allegations. People want to think it's me, they think it's me, but I know it's not me, so like, what's the point in fighting it? And I was like, first of all, it's not how you play the game. Secondly, you're not going to win playing that game. And third, what are you thinking? Are you intentionally trying to blow your game up? What's going on here? And then she was asked, like, oh, who do you think it is? And she was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm just playing Switzerland because I have no idea who it could be. So bear in mind the fact that she has openly said, I don't really know who it is, hasn't thrown any names out when she's been asked multiple times. And then Kate was like, now I'm sussing Cash because, like, what's going on here? Cash, you're acting suspicious. What is going on? Like, this is not okay because I'm asking you, who do you think it is? And you're not even giving me a name. And it's interesting because, like, traitors, if they were asked who they think it is, they wouldn't necessarily have an answer prepared because they haven't had to think about who it is. So maybe that means that Cash is one of the traitors. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough to watch, I won't lie, especially when they were just yeah, Cash not playing a very good game. But then Midi is trying to go for Angus, and then Mark is also sussing Marielle and Angus, but wanting to go for Angus more. And then Nigel realizes that the sus is on Angus, and he's like, fuck. No, this is so bad. Fuck. And then they have to, like, fill Angus in on the fact that Mark and Midi are leading a charge against him, trying to, like, gather up support to vote him out. And I was sitting there going, rah, oh, this is so long for him. This poor guy is just like, well, obviously he's a traitor, so he's not that poor a guy, but, like, yeah, it's tough. It's tough because he's had his game exposed by some freaking medium clairvoyant person. Oh, yeah. I don't think they should let clairvoyance in this game. I think it's so ridiculously stupid because, like, things like this can happen and people just take it as fact. And you're like, but is it? There's no actual fact. It's just she's thrown out names. I'll come to that argument a little bit later. But anyway, then what happens is chaos mode starts where the traitors just start going round and being like, right, this is who I think it is. I've got it written down here. Nigel was turning it on Olivia. Claire was trying to turn it on Cash, saying that she distracts conversations and maybe she could be a traitor. And then Marielle and Angus were going for Midi. And it was just a pure confusion. And honestly, they did a good job because this round table was the most, like, volatile yet. It was absolutely crazy. And so many people who've never spoken up spoke up for the first time, and it got absolutely messy. So I'm really excited. Let's get it right in. So, we are going to start with Marielle in the round table. Marielle started by going, guys, I want to address the elephant in the room. Some of you have been saying that I looked really shocked when Chloe said my name. Obviously, I was shocked because it's now put a massive target on my back, and I didn't want that to happen so early in the game. I didn't want to be the subject of suspicions because that puts my game in jeopardy as a faithful, and I just feel like we're sort of taking the word of someone who's no longer in the game kind of thing. And then Mark was like, okay. Cash, you didn't look shocked when she said your name. What was that all about? And Cash was like, oh, it was just overwhelming for me, so I didn't really have a reaction in the moment. That was a really, really bad response from Cash, I thought. It was just weak, and it left her open to a lot of sort of suspicion and sort of people being like, yo, what is this all about? Kate was like, why do you have no suspicions? And then Cash was like, I've suspected Midi. And Kate was like, yes, but you've never said that to me. I asked you multiple times today, which we saw on camera, and every single time you avoided the question, or you were like, I don't know, I'm trying to be impartial. And Cash was like, I never said that. I didn't say that. I didn't. What are you on about? What are you on about? I've said names. And I was like, ooh, this is really getting a bit awkward and a little bit tense between those two. And I don't really know how to feel about this right now. It's awkward is all it is. It's just a little bit awkward. And this was where Midi was like, I think we should give Chloe's prediction, a go. I think she might be right. And the reason is because I look around this table, and when somebody's talking or someone's voting or someone's the center of attention, everybody is looking at them, but the person who avoids eye contact is Angus. And Angus, that could be a sign that you're a traitor because you don't want to look people in the eyes. And Angus was basically like, I just don't really like looking people in the eyes for extended periods of time. Like, I feel like that a lot of people have that. It's an autistic trait, from what my friends have told me. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you are a traitor. It's just some people don't like eye contact or don't like maintaining eye contact for a long period of time. So the fact that he's always looking down or he's looking at other people or whatever, or he's not looking in your eyes does not necessarily mean he is a traitor. I feel like a lot of people use body language as reasoning for why they think someone's a traitor, and 9 times out of 10 it's not, it hasn't worked. Like, yes, Mitty is right that Angus is a traitor, but just like, I don't know whether his body language is giving it away, because he was like, I look at like consistent I look at consistent behavioral patterns, and you're the only person that doesn't maintain eye contact. And then Angus was like, but that's consistent for me, I don't maintain eye contact anyway, so that is consistent, so you've just disproved your own point. Which I was like, actually, fair game, Angus, well done. I thought Angus and Marielle really defended themselves well. Cash did a poor job, and then Fee comes out of nowhere being like, why are we even listening to Chloe? She's gone. Why are we taking her word when, like, we don't even know if she's right? It's like someone throwing out accusations before they get booted off, and then we just have to check whether they're correct. We don't at all. We can think for ourselves. We should be focusing on the people in the game, not the person who just dropped a bomb and then dipped, which, I'm going to be 100% honest, this is the only piece of, like, this is the only thing that was said at the round table that I was like, I completely 100% agree with. Why are they listening to Chloe? She left the game after she dropped this bomb. Like, is that not just like... Also, you'll notice that at the round table, at breakfast, Roger didn't sort of clarify whether she was a faithful or not. He was like, Ethan was murdered, but Chloe chose to leave of her own volition, or whatever it was. He didn't actually say whether she was a traitor or not. So I feel like they really could have turned it on her and been like Chloe could have actually been a traitor. She could have. And she could have just been throwing those names out to mislead you all. I feel like that would have been a really interesting thing. As far as I'm aware, Roger didn't say that she was a faithful, which I feel like they've done on every single other version of the show when someone's had to leave. Like, when Amanda left on US 1... Was it Amanda? Yeah, it was Amanda. Alan made sure to clarify that she was a faithful. So, I don't know. They could have easily pinned it on there. But then, it was weird because Angus was then like, oh, I sensed that Olivia didn't like... Oh, no, not Olivia. Chloe didn't like me. And then Nigel was like, oh, Olivia's Jack story still doesn't add up. And then I think this was the point when Fi was like, who gives a shit what she said? And that's when Matt has not even spoken up once, and already, like, just from this round table, I fucking hate him. He's not, I don't get good vibes from this guy. He just was like, we should be following her, like, and I was like, why though? She's not in the game anymore. She literally threw names out there with no evidence to back it up, and you guys are blindly following it. What's that all about? What is this game? What is going on in this place? Oh yeah. Let's just end the round table there. Time to go on to voting time, and like I said, this voting time was absolutely mad and crazy. So pay attention, because like some of these votes are very, very interesting. I'll point out the ones that are. Middy voted for Angus. Alex voted for Middy. Paul voted for Cash. Kate voted for Cash. Cash voted for Middy. Fiona voted for Matt. Teresa voted for Matt. Lewis voted for Cash. Angus voted for Cash. Olivia voted for Teresa. Dirk voted for Angus. Nigel voted for Olivia. Craig voted for Olivia. Matt voted for Marielle. Justine voted for Matt. Claire voted for Olivia. Marielle voted for Angus. Mark voted for Angus. So the most interesting one there was Marielle voting for Angus. Until Marielle's vote, it was 2 votes to Angus. Yeah, 2 votes to Angus, 4 to Cash. So Cash was going home. Then Marielle voted for Angus, brought him up to 3, and then Mark voted for Angus as well, bringing him up to 4, leading to a tiebreaker. Honestly, if Marielle hadn't voted for Angus, he would have survived and Cash would have gone home straight away. They wouldn't have had to go to a tiebreaker. But I will talk more about her decision later because we've got to get into the tiebreaker now. And the tiebreaker was very interesting indeed. So, Midi voted for Angus, sticking to his belief before. Alex voted for Cash. Paul voted for Cash. Kate switched her vote to Angus, which I found very interesting. Fiona voted for Cash. Teresa voted for Angus. Lewis voted for Cash. Teresa voted for Cash. No, Olivia voted for Cash. Dirk voted for Cash. Nigel voted for Cash. Craig voted for Cash. Matt voted for Cash. Justin voted for Cash. Justine, even, voted for Cash. Claire for Cash. And then Marielle and Mark voted for Angus. So Marielle doubled down on that Angus vote, which I think was a smart play, actually, in the long run. I think it was a smart play. But we move on. Cash, she got up there. She went, I'm faithful, and then left. There wasn't even an exit speech. There wasn't even like a, I've had fun playing this game. Thanks, guys. Or you guys are a bunch of dum-dums. Peace. Ugh. Like, there wasn't anything of that. It was just, I'm a faithful. Bye. That was it. I was like, what an absolute waste. So yeah, interesting to say the least. Interesting. Angus, very close to being kicked out, but he survives another week or another day or whatever the time frame is for these filming hours. Yeah, interesting indeed. Back up in Traitors Tower. What did I call it? Raitors? That's not correct. Traitors Tower. Marielle defended her choice, and she basically said this: I'm playing a long game strategy here, so me voting against you proves that I'm faithful, and hopefully it just throws out the idea that we're all traitors in that group, and it's not going to work. And Angus was just sort of like, whatever, fine. I think he was gutted, and I think everybody else in the room, like Nigel and Claire, were like, what were you thinking? Because essentially Marielle was the person who forced it to go to a tie break when they didn't need it. Frustrating. But she did say, like, I thought not many people would vote for your name, so that's why I did it to sort of cover my back, but then I'm sorry that it forced it into a tie break kind of sitch. Yeah, it is what it is. At the end of the day, not much you can do. But they are going for Midi, Mark, or Kate. 3 of the big names that are kind of the people that are speaking up, coming up with the theories. I think the smartest plan is to go with Midi and then be like, why would we kill him? That would make us look really suspicious and try and, like, double bluff people in that sense. Yeah, I think that would be a smart decision. I'll be interested to see which one of those 3 goes. But until then, thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys in the next episode of The Traitors, which may be coming tomorrow. It may not be coming tomorrow. We'll see what happens. You'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Don't be impatient, guys. It'll be up tomorrow. Or Monday. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys very, very much for watching. Keep on ranting. And I will see you guys later. Bye now.